Hey friend, welcome back to the KJ Lifestyle. I'm your host, KJ, and I'm so grateful that you decided to click on this episode today. You know, I've always wanted this podcast to be like a heart to heart conversation over coffee or tea, and that's exactly how I want this episode to be. So go ahead and grab your cup of coffee or tea and listen in on this episode that we will call The Cost of Your Dreams. It all started when I stumbled upon a simple quote while I was scrolling on TikTok. I don't remember who the creator was anymore, but the person said that your new life is going to cost you your old one. When I heard that, I froze for a moment because it's true. And it's something that I've been going through, especially during this year. I didn't have the words on how to describe the situation, but that specific quote hit me right in the heart. And immediately, my mind went back to a verse that I memorized as a 13-year-old girl preparing for her water baptism. During that time, we were required to memorize Galatians 2:20, and let me read it for you. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Knowing this verse as a teenager is so much different than how I understand it now on a deeper, more personal level. Of course, I didn't know back then exactly how this verse would apply to my life, my dreams, and my struggles 20 years later. And maybe if you have been struggling with your own dreams, your own calling, your own next steps, this verse is for you too. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt the tension between who you used to be and who you're becoming? It's like you want to step into this new season, this new dream, this new version of yourself that God is calling you into. But at the same time, you feel the pull of your old habits, old fears, and old comforts. And that's what Galatians 2:20 is about when it says, I have been crucified with Christ and I no longer live. It means there's a death that needs to happen before life. The old me had to go. The old way of living, thinking, striving, all that had to be surrendered. And that is the cost. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. Your new dream is going to cost you your old comfort zone. Your new obedience is going to cost you your old disobedience. Your new healing is going to cost you old wounds you have been nursing. And it's not going to be easy. I know, personally speaking, that it can feel really scary. But you and I, we both know it's going to be worth it. But let's be real for a moment. Sometimes, pursuing your dream or stepping into God's calling doesn't always feel like a shiny highlight reel. A lot of the time, it can actually feel like a loss. Because you will lose a lot of things. You will lose relationships that can't come with you anymore, routines that used to be comfortable and safe, the version of yourself that everyone knew. And accepting those losses can actually be uncomfortable and a lot of times even lonely. I've experienced this with doing the many things I'm doing in my life. People see the outside and they go, "Oh, KJ's doing this, KJ's doing that. She must be thriving." But what they don't see are the nights that I've cried, wondering if I made the right choice. They don't see the friendships, the relationships that quietly faded away because my values shifted. They don't see the internal battle of letting go of the old version of me, the one who played small, stayed safe, and actually didn't want to be seen. And you, my friend, maybe you're there too. Maybe you're dreaming of a business, a ministry, a relationship, or a new chapter. And deep down, you know that something, or maybe a lot of things, have to go. And that's what's scaring you to take the next step. But that is the cost that you have to pay to get to where you want to go next. Now, let's go back to the verse that continues to say, "But Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." Did you catch that? He doesn't say you stop being who you are. It just says that the life you now live, you live by faith. Faith is the currency of your new life. So let me ask you, are you paying for your dream with faith or with fear? Because faith will make you take a step even if you can't see the whole staircase, while fear will make you freeze even if you know that God is nudging you to go. Faith says, "God is with me in all of this." And fear says, "What if I fall? What if no one cares? What if I'm not enough?" And listen, it's normal to feel both, but you have to choose which one will you allow to be in the lead. Friend, if God has called you, if He has planted a dream in your heart, if He has given you even just one small step to take, have faith. You don't need to have it all figured out. We always say that. But you just need to trust Him that even if you can't see all the steps ahead, He does. He has gone before you, and you know that no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. So maybe right now you're listening while on the commute or while you're doing chores, during your break time at work, or maybe you're lying in bed before going to sleep and you happen to press play on this humble podcast. Wherever you are, I want you to hear this as if I'm sitting across from you right now and holding your hands. Friend, your dream is valid. Your calling is real, and your growth is necessary. Success is just on the other side. But yes, it will cost you. It might cost you the approval of people who don't understand. It might cost you comfort zones that, yes, are comfortable, but they're keeping you small. It might cost you the old you that God is lovingly asking you to let go of. And of course, letting go will hurt. You are removing something that is a part of who you are, but that's who you used to be. Can I tell you something? What you will gain on the other side, you know, will be so much better than anything you can hope for or even imagine. You will gain purpose, clarity, and the joy of walking with Christ in your new life. And isn't that worth it? So, here's what we are going to do this week. We are going to take a moment to ask ourselves the following questions. Get a notebook to write this down, or maybe type it in your notes app. Here we go. What is God asking me to let go of so I can step fully into the dream He has given me? Next, what's the old life I need to release, and why is it so hard for me to let go of it? And third, what's the first small step of faith that I can take today? Write it down, pray about it, and more importantly, do it by faith. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for anyone's approval. Don't wait until you feel 100% ready, because honestly, that day is never going to come. But you know that your dream has a cost. You have to pay it. But you also know that it comes with a great reward. And remember, you are not doing it alone. The one who gave you your dream is the same one who promises to be with you in every step of the way. So today, I just want to leave you with this. The life you're stepping into is worth so much more than the old life you are leaving behind. Your dream is worth the discomfort of growth, and Jesus is worth it all. Galatians 2:20 is not just a verse to memorize, although of course if you could memorize it, that's great. But this verse is actually a lifestyle to embrace. We have been crucified with Christ. We no longer live, but He lives in us. And the life we now live, we live by faith in the Son of God who loves us and gave Himself for us. So keep walking, keep dreaming, and keep surrendering. Yes, it's going to cost you a lot, but it's also going to change you and equip you for that dream, that prayer that has always been in your heart. Friend, thank you for hanging out with me today. If this episode has blessed you, please share it with someone who needs to be reminded that their dream is worth the cost. And please don't forget to follow this podcast, leave a review, and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at the KJ Lifestyle PH. Until next time, this is KJ once again reminding you that your dreams are worth the cost because your life is worth the cross. Until next time.